beast pulls out his own video camera. I think that... Tip-off, exactly. We don't know. It's possible.
Please support this channel by subscribing and leaving comments.
Let me introduce our final guest here. He's a comedian from Los Angeles, California. He's going to do a little comedic set. Please welcome Scott Herriott.
Yeah! Do we really need any more comedy, ladies and gentlemen?
No.
No, we don't, so I'll make this brief, by God.
Could we have the lights, please, up front?
First off, I'd just like to thank Annie and Steve Harvey and anybody who had anything to do with getting everybody together for this seminar. I think most would agree that this is maybe one of the best, well-rounded, different looks at the Sasquatch phenomenon. Would you agree with that, ladies and gentlemen? So, and I'm really excited. I just got news from Steve that the premiere thing next year is going to be a bare-knuckle brawl between Renee and Grover Krantz out in the thing. It's going to be great. You want to make sure you bring your video cameras. So the only weapons they're allowed to use are Paul Freeman's footprint test. So you may want to come out to see that. Dr. Renee, I'm sorry. The honorary degree. Thank you very much. Couple little, just little points I wanted. You know, we talked about Patterson film. I believe is one of the strongest pieces of evidence to support that one of these, more than one of these beings exists. There's been a contention, though, that look at the Sasquatch film, and people say there's only one of two options possible. That it's either a Sasquatch, one of these purported creatures, or it's a human being in a suit. And I think the sad thing is we're ignoring the third possibility, ladies and gentlemen, and that's it could be a Bigfoot in a Sasquatch costume. Don't forget about that. This is where you're supposed to laugh. Anyway, really, I'll be out of your hair in a couple minutes. What else? I first got into the Bigfoot phenomena because I actually thought I had a sighting. This is years ago. I was driving on the road, and it turned out that wasn't a Sasquatch. It turned out to be two hairy leprechauns on stilts. But boy, this is going to be a long 3 minutes. Why don't I get right? Actually, the plane up here, I thought it might be maybe fun. Of course, you'll be the judge of that. To maybe somewhat of a top 10 list on the top 10 ways to possibly spot a fake Bigfoot video. These are the things I would recommend, and feel free to chortle at any point. Number 1, if you're watching the tape, if you hear the cameraman at any point saying, "Boy, he must be sweating like a pig in that thing."
Turtle.
That might be a clue.
That might be a clue, exactly. That might be a clue. Second of the top 10. If any type of cigarette is dangling from the mouth of the subject, I would probably throw that out at that point. Number 3, and you do get worse. If video is taken in conjunction with a nudie magazine shoot. Joke there. Sorry. If the creature's wearing a bra, I think right there maybe that might be a tip-off. Tip-off, exactly, Danny. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ed, much. If at any time the head of the creature appears to be on backwards, I think that might be. I think Dr. Fairyback left, but elastic, maneuverability of the spine, I don't believe is shown in primates yet. I don't believe so. If the beast pulls out his own video camera, I think that... Tip-off, exactly. We don't know. It's possible. That's Barbara. Where's Barbara? Oh, glad I could entertain Barbara. How many people wish that Barbara is the one to actually see a Sasquatch? And how many people would think that she would doubt it herself? This is not happening. I wrote a book called Sasquatch Apparitions. Okay, I have to walk away now. Anyway, if the creature waves, stops, and then gives you the finger, that might be a tip-off. Exactly.
Close to that.
Number 8, one word. moon dancing.
You might be a redneck.
I knew this structure sounded familiar. If at any point the Squatch asks the camera person, is this the 10th or 11th take? And my 10th reason, if within 300 miles of the time and place of the incident, any relatives of Paul Freeman were present. Thank you. Folks, by the way, if you get an opportunity to work together again as a crowd, pass it up. Thank you. We had the Ohio State DNA talks about that. Sounds interesting. Dr. Herriott actually told me after one of the meetings that one thing is conclusive from those DNA reports is that Sasquatch could not have committed the Simpson murder. So I think that's a little thing we can go. Oh, jeez. Okay, there's that. We had the, where's Wayne? Wayne had the very interesting, the droppings, exactly. And I thought that was a very interesting talk. Perhaps next year, though, don't space it so close to lunch. I'm thinking maybe.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
Don't bring sandwiches.
He's good, man. He's getting in there. Oh, God, okay. Oh, here's a little, Dr. Herriott had all the graphs, which I'm sure we all went, what the hell's he talking about? But no, he had some good stuff he was pointing out. But and one little thing, hypothesis I've come up with is what group of people that live in forested regions would be most likely to encounter a Sasquatch? And you think obviously loggers or fishermen or the Indians or whatever. Hunters, exactly. But the group that I think might have the best opportunity for an actual Sasquatch sighting, let's think about this carefully, pot growers.
Yes.
Right, now, and not for not necessarily for hallucinogenic reasons, but if you're a pot grower, especially in Northern California where that's gone on a long time, if you want to grow your stuff, where would you want to grow it? Probably the most remote, densely vegetated valleys. Where would Sasquatch most probably reside? Denser, remotely vegetated valleys. I guess the trouble is, though, if you're a pot grower, you really can't tell anybody about the sighting. It would be kind of, what were you doing back in there? Walking. And how long have they been growing pot in the north? Probably about 100 years. For a while. So you figure, there's a lot of pot in Northern California. A lot of us feel reasonably convinced that there's Sasquatches there. Would it not be reasonable to assume that perhaps Sasquatches partook of the herbal, medicinal, whatever? That might be kind of nice if you're around the campfire while you're camping. It's kind of like all of a sudden, you can eat that? That's, and Danny in a supporting paper, that might explain the red eye phenomenon. Exactly. Exactly. Good point, Danny. Are we taking this on the road, by the way? I think so.
Would you?
Would we? As quickly as possible, thank you. The smell is talked about quite a bit, and I would theorize that it's become somewhat, the smell thing is getting into the urban legend realm, because according to Dr. Green's book, who wisely left before he got up here, I think he says in his book that it's like less than about 8% of sightings of close encounters in his database, people report the smell. So it's not a very high percentage where smell is actually recorded. But I have my own theory that I think what's going on in these cases might actually be a reversal of sorts. Because imagine yourself in the woods, you're walking along, by the way, that's the music you're going to hear if you're walking alone in the woods. And you look to your left, and there's a 10-foot-tall, 800-pound humanoid smiling at you, licking his chops. I think it's time to check your own shorts at that point, ladies and gentlemen. Jim, look! You keep an eye on him. I'll be right back. I think these shows could use a little more humor, maybe. That's maybe what's lacking a little bit. Prints. Possible things to look for fake prints. That a Nike insignia in the actual bottom of the thing. I find that might be.
Tip-off.
A tip-off, exactly. My friend, oh God, I'm almost done, I swear to God. Maybe I should have finished with the top 10 list. Maybe that would have been a good way to actually culminate the actual thing. We got that, the hard copy video. Well, that's okay. So, any questions at this point? I think I might have actually petered at that point. Anything, anybody? Did everybody have a good time?
Yeah.
Is everybody coming back next year? Good. set up for next year yet?
I've got them all lined up.
Good, good. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. God bless you. Thanks for coming in, Larry Lund. See you next year. Hey, so it looks like-
If you're enjoying all this rare and unique content, please show your support by subscribing and leaving comments.